Emotional needs. When was the last time I had an emotional need?
Oh, hourly. Are you? That's the question. Can you identify? Where's my book? Hello, my little bear cubs, and welcome back to another episode of Secondhand Therapy. We need to remind you that we are not therapists. We are not experts. This is not a substitute for therapy, and this is not professional advice in any way.
No, it's not.
It is not. We're just two guys, trying to be better versions of ourselves.
Ugh, it's exhausting.
It's the fucking worst decision we've ever made.
Yeah.
If you would like to support the podcast, we'd appreciate it. You can do so on Patreon. Patreon.com/secondhandtherapypod or patreon.com, and then in the search bar, you type in Secondhand Therapy.
Yeah, because you're going to hear some ads. And if you don't want to hear those ads, because who wants to hear ads? Yeah. You go on over to Patreon, you do the things, and you sign up, no ads.
You get free episodes. We leave the cameras running after the pod. You get some after the pod. You get our other podcast, our non-therapy podcast that we still talk about therapy a lot.
Still talk about.
Yeah. We also have merch available.
We sure do.
We're not selling either of these.
Oh, we're not?
No. But some things we get samples and we just don't think they work. This is an athletic style shirt and it has the number 69 on the back.
Same.
Yeah.
This little college hoodie.
Yeah, we were like, I don't know if people are going to buy an Abercrombie college hoodie, so we didn't put them up for sale. But we do have merch available. Secondhandtherapypod.com. If you'd like to contact us, go to our Instagram. There's a little button in the story highlights. You got our number. You can text us, email, address if you want to send us a letter.
We're getting mail.
We are getting mail. Yeah.
We got a Polaroid. It was very sweet.
We got our first.
We got a nice letter and a Polaroid picture.
A little card. There were 2 Polaroids.
From Berlin, right?
Yep. Somebody from Berlin. If you're listening, thank you so much. We got your mail.
Yes.
One of the Polaroids was exactly of what we were like. Just send a Polaroid of nothing.
Just your life. Just
it's
a little
just
snapshot.
a corner of a room.
Yeah.
And then the other Polaroid was of the person that sent us. I don't know if it was a letter. It was a card. It had a nice message in it.
It did.
It was a picture of her. And very nice.
It was great.
Great. We appreciate the mail. Thank you.
Love getting mail.
Yeah. Here's an episode.
Enjoy.
Kill me. I get it. And I'm torn because do we talk about the election? Because I'm not going to lie, in therapy this week, all I talked about was my feelings about the election, mostly. So do you want me to tell you my feelings about the election first, or do you want me to tell you my other actual therapy stuff first?
Let's get the election out of the way because I have not had therapy, and I was just on Instagram stories ranting about the election because I did not have therapy.
Yeah, I saw one of those stories.
Yeah.
And you ended it with, and I'm just going to say, fuck them. And the rest of your stories, I did this.
You do that anyway. So.
No. If you're saying something and it is more than 2 stories long,
you
get a tap. I'm going to tap dance on that phone.
Now, do you do that for everybody or just me?
Yes.
Really? You have a 2-story limit?
If it's one message, yeah. Wow. Some people, if their story at the top it looks like a fucking Morse code.
Yeah.
I'm just swiping right out of that.
You're like,
I don't even have
blocked.
I'm not even tapping through it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what the average limit is on what people. We should put up a poll to see.
I think most people probably give the tap to their friends just so they're like, okay, they looked at my story. I think people do that for like, they want you to know they saw it even though they didn't see it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm an idiot.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
And then people have asked me about it.
Like, what'd you think of my story?
Yeah.
They're like, not a thing.
They're like, oh, you saw me post about that. What'd you And I'm like,
yeah.
It's great. It's really good.
Are you talking about...
Yeah, exactly.
Nah.
So you go in there. Did you have a meltdown?
No meltdown.
More just sadness?
I have this... I felt like I was grieving for a couple days.
Yeah.
Very sad. A very, very heavy feeling of disappointment. Not just in the results, but that there's so much dissonance and there's so much that is frustrating for me because, well, the Democrats, all they do is lose.
Yeah.
That's what they do best.
Yeah.
And they talk about all these things they want to do. They never do them. And then they wonder why they don't have strong support. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, keep the promises to your supporters.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
When you look at the other side, this is where the dissonance comes in for me. Because, and I'll use people close to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not 100% certain of this.
Okay.
I'm 99% certain that my mother and my sister voted for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. My mother obviously has a daughter and a granddaughter. Mm-hmm. My sister has a daughter.
Yeah.
The fact that those people the reality of it is, my niece, if you go by statistics, will be sexually assaulted in her life. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And her mother and her grandmother put support behind somebody who doesn't think she should have say if she becomes pregnant during a sexual assault.
Yeah. They voted for no support whatsoever in any way.
As women.
Yeah.
And it's very upsetting. Also, I'm usually a keto guy because it helps me.
This is a weird turn, but yeah.
Stay with me.
Okay.
It helps me control my eating.
Yeah.
Okay? I got food problems. Now, I needed some comfort food. You know me. Daddy loves Raisin Bran Crunch. Mm-hmm. I went to the store and I bought 1 box of Raisin Bran Crunch, 1/2 gallon of milk, and it cost $13. So on that side, the people that are like, hey, I can't afford groceries, I hear that too.
Yeah.
And the dissonance of those two things of like, God damn, I get their fucking point. And God damn, how can they not give a fuck about women and trans people in the queer community? The fact that I get both of those things is so frustrating.
Yeah.
I hate multiple truths. I hate it so much. You say some stuff.
Yeah, I get that frustration because I have the gift and the curse of growing up in the Midwest, and I still engage in those conversations and with lots of folks from the Midwest, and that is the argument of like, we can't afford this or we can't do that, or like, you know, my major problem has been like living in like this gotcha culture.
Yeah.
Where you're putting these people on the spot and you're writing them off right away with like, you know, let's take like the bathroom dilemma that was happening a few years ago, and you're stopping somebody
like the trans bathroom thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're stopping somebody in Indiana who has never met a trans person, has no idea what that even is really.
Yeah.
And you're cornering them on the street and being like, can they use the restroom? And some factory worker's like, I don't know. And they're like, you hate trans people. And it's like, I get that they are feeling that way of like written off and forgotten and like, or labeled and stuff like that. I understand that. A lot of that is ignorance or abstinence. Sure, there's a lot of hate. Duh. There's a lot of hateful shit going on out there. But some of it is ignorance and abstinence, right? They just they don't have people in their community.
Are you saying abstinence?
No, absence.
Absence.
Like it's gone. Like they don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
They have no reference of.
I understand.
They don't have anybody. They don't have any queer friends. They don't have any trans friends and people of color. Like there's, you know.
Yeah, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah. And so you have a lot of that, and I see the anger that they are getting just labeled as like hateful or whatever. And because I engage in those conversations and I see that, but I also get so fucking angry because that is the reason why it is so important to have this recent push of trans stories in TV and movies and commercials and people of color in TV and movies and commercials. And, they are complaining like it's getting shoved down our throat. Yeah, because you don't have anybody in real life that you can share these experiences and stories with. So this is a way that it brings it into your living room, brings it into your life, so you can then have empathy for these people when you go to vote, when they are telling you that these lives also fucking matter. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than your family. It doesn't matter if you know these people or not. It is a human experience, and how you vote against a human experience is wild to me.
Yeah.
Also being smart enough to know that Joe Biden is not sitting in the fucking White House going, how much should I make eggs today? How much should they cost today? Hey, that's not a thing. So you're voting against your own kind in a lot of cases, right? Like white women voted the way they did against their own kind and for these laws to go into place to make it harder for women in almost any category in life.
Yeah.
Because they've been told, or they believe, that the president is going, how much should bread be on Tuesday? I don't know, $7. Like,
do you think that's what they think?
They are directly correlating the president of the United States with the inflation that's happening with groceries and things like that.
So whose fault is the price of groceries?
It's a trickle-down effect, right? Like, that's how economics work. And so when you...
You're going to make some people mad with trickle-down economics.
I know. Well, it's just like...
Also, I like to say, I don't even know what trickle-down economics... I don't know what that means.
Well, it's just like
It's a flashy word. I've heard it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what they actually mean when they say it.
It just means that there's more than one stop, pretty much. So it's not just like one guy being like, gas is $7. No, he's talking to it, and they make a deal, and they make a deal, and it gets transferred, and this trucker has to talk, and this guy... And now we've come to an agreement of this is how much gas costs. It's that. So this idea of...
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, that's how pricing works, because with these like let's take these tariffs, for example, that are happening, right? That Donald Trump is promising to put in.
But hold on. But inflation isn't because our government is spending more money than we're making. So then prices have to go up so they collect more tax so they can try to pay down this insurmountable debt.
Yes, but a lot of that debt is caused by this current inflation that's happening right now. It was a lot of debt that was incurred from Donald Trump's first round because he thinks that tariffs work.
What's a tariff?
So tariff is like taxing.
You better be right, because they're going to eat you.
Oh, they're going to fucking come at me, dog.
Yeah.
So what happens is...
I'm asking because I don't know.
Yeah, so let's say... let's give this example, right? So like, if China's selling this new toy, let's say a fucking Furby. If China is selling Furbies and they want to bring them into the United States, they want to ship them in here, and we go, okay, you can sell your Furbies here. It's going to cost you. And we agree on a price. And then they say, okay, whatever. So Donald Trump's big plan is to make that tariff so high, that price to sell here in America so high, that the people in China are going, okay, we'll just build a factory that makes Furbies in America. And then the American people will have jobs making Furbies, and we'll be able to get them cheaper because we don't have to import them. They'll already be here. Now, for this to actually work, you need to, stick to your, you need to, really jack up the prices, which is why inflation goes up almost immediately after that, because we are trying to bully them into negotiate with us. And so now Furbies aren't $5 anymore. They are $9. Or they are $12 until a factory gets built, people get hired and we start making Furbies, then Furbies will go back down to $5 or even cheaper, $4, $3, whatever it is.
That doesn't sound like it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it does, in the perfect scenario, the money that has to go into that to buy land, to build factories, the hiring process, to find people to work at those, you're talking about a 10 to 12 year plan. So you voted for cheaper eggs 10 to 12 years from now. Congratulations. You traded your fucking daughters and wives and mothers' rights and a lot of trans and queer folks' protection and police brutality against people of color in their communities for cheaper eggs in 12 years. Good move, man.
Let's take a break. We'll be back in a minute, guys. I was also talking about because you and I talk about this all the time, how we kind of wish we were dumber sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me is worried that I'm dumb because I look at this election and I cannot convince myself that they're not all on the same team. And that the entire game is let's keep everybody working forever. How does either side, if they were to win, how is that better for the people? How is that better for a greater good of the world? I truly cannot see a difference in them anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder, am I too dumb that I don't see that it's us versus the government? Because the system is doing exactly what the system is designed to do. Is to keep everybody working until they're old.
Yeah.
And then they dangle this retirement in front of you and you're too old to enjoy it. And nobody's talking about changing that system.
Yeah.
The American dream is supposed to be you can come here and do anything. And I think the American dream is actually I'm going to be rich one day.
Yeah.
And everyone's just trying to be rich when they retire. And I don't understand. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. How does anybody give a fuck about, how does anybody in power, in office, give a fuck about the good of the quality of life of anybody?
Yeah,
Like,
that's interesting. And I think that's not a new question. I think that's been going on for a while, at least since Vietnam.
Yeah, so I'm just like, are they just on the same team and I'm too dumb to see it?
I mean, to a degree, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, because
Now that was rhetorical. But okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is the game. They are just, it's the hustle, man.
Why is there a hustle? I'm trying to survive, dude.
Because that's how they make their money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're living off of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what you're talking about is a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This, like, honestly, dude, makes me want to, like, run for office.
You called me and said,
I
I'm
swear
going to run
to
for
God.
president one day.
I think I could be president. And like, but like also, no one with money will support me because I don't want them to get richer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get.
Yeah,
anywhere.
you see the way they treat Bernie Sanders. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Bernie, AOC was good for a while. You can tell she got some of that money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just oh my God.
Yeah, I think you're right when you first started talking about like this. It did feel like grief.
Yeah.
It was. I flew out the very next morning, and I flew out here in L.A. and it was.
Oh yeah. Quiet. It was somber.
Oh my God! Nobody was talking to each other. Nobody was like. It was just dead.
It was like I imagine that's what September 12th was like.
Yeah.
I was a little too young, but everybody was on the same page around here of holy shit.
Yeah.
we really did not learn anything.
No, and I think I think it comes back around to what else you started to mention, which was like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of action on the Democratic side. I've been reading, like, there's been these tweets from Elizabeth Warren.
It's either Twitter or TikTok. You're not reading anything.
Elizabeth Warren was putting out these tweets, and she's been pointing out the laws that Donald Trump has been breaking already.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
But then there's no follow up.
Yeah.
It's like, he can't do this. Okay.
Do something about it.
So is anybody...
You guys are in the house now.
Is this for likes and reshares?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
man. Yes, it is.
so now what? That's I think the more frustrating part is there's a lot of people being like, hey, he can't do that. And then nobody goes, yeah, he can't.
Hey,
And then we just sit there and go,
he
okay.
fucking can.
Yeah.
And everything that you want to do that people go, you can't do that. You can.
You can, I guess. Yep.
I am actively trying to figure out how.
Can't say that. We got to cut that out. Cut it out.
They say you can't do that.
You can't do that. Yeah, it did feel like grief. And then there was anger, and then there's just like, now it's just I just feel numb. I don't know what to do. It is that, a little numb, a little lost about like, well, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now what?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm like, what do we do now? I literally got a passport today in case I gotta bounce the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Did your therapist give you any management skills for this grief or anger or anything? Or she was just like, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, everything you're saying makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, try to hold space for your feelings, and
Yeah.
like, everything you're saying is not going away, and everything you're saying is right,
Yeah.
and that's the dissonance of it.
Yeah. I did in my little Instagram rant with just like, I realized that I'm a straight white dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, life isn't going to get that much worse for us as individuals.
no, but it's affecting a lot of people that I care about. And so my thing was like, what you can do now is just check on your friends that are in these communities that are getting directly affected, and just make sure that I want to say that they're safe, but they're not.
No one's protecting
Just
them.
that they just check in on them. Just make sure that they know that they are not alone, and that somebody's looking out for them, or at least trying to fucking look out for them. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know what else to fucking do right now.
Yeah. I don't either.
Show up for your people.
Should we talk about actual therapy now?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll be back
Maybe.
in 1 minute. So I have this little book.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, God.
All right.
Okay.
I'll tell you about my book.
Sure.
So I was talking in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
From election stuff, she asked me, she's like, what do you need for a safe space? And I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And as we've talked about on here, I have a very hard time advocating for my needs. And that is because I don't know how to identify my needs. And that is because I have been emotionally neglected most of my life. Now,
Yes.
I said, how do I figure out what my motherfucking needs are?
Yeah.
And she said she used to struggle with that as well. That she's like, yeah, I've never thought of what I need. So she said what she did, she's like, it's going to sound dumb, was to be in touch, more in touch and aware of her feelings, like what she was actively feeling. And she had a little book, and she would write down, she would just constantly check in with herself and write down like, I'm feeling hungry, my feet hurt, I'm tired. And then eventually she set up like a T-chart, and it would be like, I'm hungry, I need food. I'm tired, I need rest.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets more into, I'm feeling anxious. What do I need for this anxiety? So I'm writing my feelings down. Have I started doing it? Don't ask me that.
I was going to ask, what happens when you can't get what you need? Like, if you are feeling anxious about something, like, I need to know, X, Y, and Z, and, like, you won't know that till, let's say, next Thursday. Mm-hmm. Then what do? You just write down, I need to know this, and then you just fucking...
I think you...
What do you do with that?
I think I'm happy I know what my needs are.
It's just...
But also, you can't expect your needs to always be met.
Yeah.
That's not realistic.
Right.
So I guess being able, because even if, let's say it's with my partner,
Yeah.
I could tell her, hey, I need this. She is absolutely allowed to say no. She's allowed to go, I can't do that for you. I'm unable to meet that need. You need to figure out how to meet it on your own. You need, like, if it's whatever, I need to meet it without her. I need to meet, like, that's possible. Like, your needs aren't always going to get met. So I think for me at this point, being able to identify my needs would be great, because then I could ask for them to be met. And if there's something I need somebody else to do,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I guess, that was my question. Is like, what is the next step?
Did you interrupt me? Yeah.
Oh, God, this fucking...
Hold on. Is this my first entry? We don't need to know. Pissed off. Dash. Smack in head.
That's what you need?
Parenthesis, Malone. Parenthesis, his head. Okay. Go ahead.
Now,
Let me put the strap back on my book. Okay.
let me tell you my needs.
Yeah.
I need you to take that book, turn it sideways.
I stopped listening. Stop listening. Can't hear you. Are you good with advocating for your needs? No, you're a people pleaser. Now. Heard it as soon as I said it.
Exactly. I was like,
Yeah. Do you have interest in advocating for your needs more?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And little baby steps, I've been trying. I went to lunch with a friend in Ohio, and they picked a place that I looked at the menu, and I'm going to be honest with you, couldn't really have a whole lot.
They didn't have chicken?
They
didn't have turkey sandwiches?
They had these items, but a lot of it was, the majority of the menu was like goat cheese and grass-fed, burger and bison meat and things like that. And I'm like, oh, I can't touch that stuff.
Why can't you have a grass-fed burger?
I could probably have a grass-fed burger. I can't have bison meat.
Even if it's well done?
Yeah.
Okay.
It fucks me up.
Yeah.
So like Gouda cheese, those things, goat cheese, all these different things. Like, I can't have those items. And so they were very excited about eating at this place.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do you mind if we go somewhere else?
Yeah. How'd it go?
It was fine. We went somewhere else, and they were fine with that.
Okay.
I that book's going to come up missing.
Hold on. Annoyed.
Why would you be annoyed?
Told him that 10 cajillion... How do you spell cajillion? Cajillion times. Okay. Go ahead. Let me strap back on my book. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it was fine. But I still had shame attached to that, and I still like felt bad about it, guilty, and like all those things.
Why guilty?
Because they were excited about eating at that place, and I prevented them from doing that.
So that person cannot go back there.
They can, but they
Oh, okay. So you didn't prevent them from eating that. I got it. Hold on.
no. God,
I'm not going to write anything down. Just right with you.
yeah, but like baby steps. I'm working on baby step needs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Does that not count?
Of course that counts.
Oh, okay.
You're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, why would that not count?
I don't know. You looked off like he thinks that counts.
So what are you doing to try to are you good at identifying your needs? I know you struggle to speak up for them, but can you identify them?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you good at it?
Yeah.
Identifying needs?
Yeah.
Needs or wants?
Ooh.
Because I think you think your wants are
Our needs.
Yeah.
What are you? Every girl I've ever dated?
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I let anxiety steer, and whatever anxiety is telling me my need or want is,
Yeah.
that's what I feel.
Okay.
So
anxiety's you let anxiety take the wheel.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because let's take that example of eating at that restaurant that I couldn't eat at.
Yeah.
Anxiety said, "Hey, we can't have any of this food. It's going to fuck us up. So we
Right.
got to get out of here now. We got to go. Say something. Say something. Say something." And then I go, "Shut up. We're fine. We'll find something." And anxiety goes, "Hey, man, we got to get the fuck out of here. We can't have this food." And I go, "All right, fine." And then I roughly float an idea, I'll be like, "Oh, I don't really see anything." And then it's, baby steps towards, "Hey, do you mind if we eat somewhere else?" That's
Okay.
how most scenarios go, is anxiety goes, "Hey, psst, we got to get the fuck out of here."
What if it's an emotional need? You're so lucky I just dropped my book. No more writing in the book this episode. I'm going to put the pen down there too.
Emotional needs. When
Yeah.
was the last time I had an emotional need?
Oh, fucking hourly. That's the question. Can you identify? Where's my book? Pick up my book.
The book's done.
When was the last time I had an emotion? Hey, man. That's what we're talking about. When was the last time?
You said identify needs and wants. You didn't say emotional.
Hey, man, there are more than one kind of need.
Well, some of us.
Hey, let's guess. Hey, take your tummy and your dick out of it.
Yeah.
What other needs do you have?
I don't think I have it.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
I'm a super chill, laid back dude, and I don't really have any wants or needs other than tummy and dick stuff.
Okay, we're going to take our last break while I cool off. We'll be back in 1 motherfucking minute. Do you know what an emotional need is?
Can you give me some examples of emotional needs?
I need support from my partner right now. I need a break from this conversation. I need...
Yeah.
Let me think. What I'm trying to think for you. I need more affirmations. I need more positive affirmations.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Where did you just go? You did the look down thing again.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't know if I can't identify them or if I don't think about them, because though everything that you just listed as an example would be disruptive to It's all that seems bothersome, and I would never dream of asking anybody those things.
Why?
I would never.
But can you identify those? I don't know why I just pointed at you like you're on the stand.
I don't.
I'm so sorry.
Sir, can you identify these?
Can you identify? Could you be like, wow, I need. Even me. You're like, I just need him to fucking tell me that I'm not a piece of shit right now. Could you be like, hey,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a. I want to share this example, but if I do, if they ever hear this, they're gonna know who it is, and I don't know if I want to do that or not.
Okay.
There was a time in my life.
Yeah.
Let's make it really vague. Mm-hmm. There was a time in my life when I was sad, and I was dating somebody, and the sadness took over to a point where I thought, "Oh, I need somebody right now," and my person was asleep on the couch, and so I went in to tell them, "Hey, I need somebody."
Is that what you said? I need somebody?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
There in that moment.
Getting real fidgety.
Yeah. I'm just tears are just pouring down my face.
Oh, you're crying when you go to her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's hard already.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, because I had, here's what had happened. It was my birthday, and
February 22nd.
She had passed out a little bit early, and so I thought, well, this is a perfect time to go into another room and listen to old voicemails from my mother.
Oh, my God.
And so I did that and got real fucked up.
Yeah.
And then it got out of control, and I went in to wake her up, tears and everything, and stated that I needed somebody. And she said, okay, I'm going to go to bed. And then she went to bed. And then I went back into the other room and continued what I was doing until I was drained. And then...
Hold on. She literally said, okay, I'm going to go to bed?
Yeah, she was really tired.
Oh, wow. That's hard.
Yeah. So I don't like to bother people with things.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, you know the right person. That's not a bother, though.
Yeah, but like, how do you know?
Oh, you know.
Who to ask,
you know who to ask.
Yeah, sometimes. So yeah, sometimes I can identify that, and sometimes I ask, but a lot of times I don't, and I don't ever dream of bringing anything up to anybody about my needs. Yeah, I think this goes into like being, I just feeling like I'm too much already. So why would I ask for more? Like you want more? Like, fuck.
What do you mean you want more?
I'm a lot, man.
Who told you that?
I just feel it.
Yeah, okay. So who told you that?
Nobody ever told me that. I just feel it from people sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Like their expectations. You just feel it.
I just read it on them,
Yeah, you can't read for shit, but yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I read it on them. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to shut the fuck up. Damn. Yeah.
When's I'm going to get so therapy on you right now.
Okay.
What's the oldest memory you have of that feeling? Feeling like, oh, I'm too much. I should just shut the fuck up now.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's a fairly new thing for me.
Didn't have it growing up?
I probably did.
So not fairly new. Got it.
But
Yeah.
no, but I mean, you know, you push those down and you keep moving, and then 30 years later, you're like, oh yeah, this is a feeling. But yeah, because I'm just starting to again have more time with myself and more time with others on a more consistent basis. And I feel that with you and I sometimes. I feel like, oh, I'm fucking out of my mind, and I can't believe you put up with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
When's the last time you felt like that with me?
I don't know, like maybe a couple weeks ago. I feel like sometimes I talk too much.
Okay.
Or that, like, yeah, because I get excited. I'm excitable.
You're a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so sometimes I feel like I'm like, and you're like, uh-huh. And I can just read it, and I'm like, oh, I got to shut the fuck up. I'm too much right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or that I'm like, you know what a great example was? The morning of the rental car. Oh, I felt like I was way too much that morning.
Yeah, you were having a manic episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're strung out on ADHD meds.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta fucking this rental car, dude. I think, oh, the fuck.
And that's not gonna work. Or we gotta go this, and I gotta fucking. Yeah. I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. So when I was in the shower, I really like reset and calmed down, and I came out, and I'd even told you, I was like, hey man, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Can I tell you something?
fucking way better now.
Unnecessary apology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can tell you're stressed out.
Yeah, but
I get it.
I didn't want to make it your responsibility, your burden. If I'm stressed out, that should be my thing to deal with.
So you assume that because you're stressed out, you're going to stress me out.
Yeah, or just put it out in the atmosphere. You might catch it. I don't want to do that.
I might catch irritation, but I'm not gonna. You're not going to stress me out.
Yeah, I just
Because a couple times I'm like, hey, we're not even there yet.
yeah,
We're not even there yet. Relax.
yeah.
Is that hard for you to hear?
No,
No.
no. I just yeah.
You said nothing.
I said something in here.
Yeah.
I said something in my head.
Say it out loud.
And
Because when you go, yeah, like you fucking, hey man, let us in.
I already told you.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead out loud.
I had a similar conversation this week.
This week while you were out of town?
Yeah, while I was out of town.
Okay.
I've known this person for 20 years, and we were talking about relationships and kind of this idea of feeling like I'm too much or unlovable or a lot to handle kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she brought up, she goes, yeah, it's because you don't, maybe you're not showing the full picture of yourself soon enough. She's like, you're doing better at being more authentic and this and that, but like, we compared it to, like, you ever go to somebody's house and then you see like the living room is like super clean and nice, and you're like, oh wow, I got a nice little place. And then like you go to find the bathroom and then you peek in a room and it's like a fucking wreck, and you're like, oh shit. And then you see another room and it's a wreck, and there's another room and you're like, why didn't they say anything about these? Why are they only showing me this? I'm only allowed in the front room.
Yeah.
That's how it feels sometimes, where I like, you come over to my house, it's real clean. And then every once in a while you might see another room and you're like, oh fuck, he didn't tell me about how messy his office was. It's like, yeah, sorry. And then later they see the rest of the house, and then I feel like overall I'm bad real estate.
I see. Tell me again about how your mom kept the house. I forgot. No. Tell me real quick. I forgot. No. Take your time. Tell me.
She kept a really clean house
Why?
in case anybody was to stop by.
Interesting. For other people.
That's
That's right.
people, that's right.
She kept up appearances for other people. not for her or for the people in the home, for everybody outside of the home. They had to see it. And I remember now. I remember.
Yeah.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Yeah. So sometimes I feel like bad real estate. I mean, I got a great front porch. You know?
You got a big dick. We know about that fucking hog.
You know, you're like, oh, it's a good front. I like to sit on that porch. And then you go inside and you're like, oh, nobody told me about it. This place is fucking wrecked.
Oh, asbestos.
This place needs to be shut down.
Asbestos and black mold. This is quite a choice they made.
This is not good for my health. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, I don't know. Yeah, what?
I just, man, your mom fucked you up so bad. Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's upsetting.
Yeah.
Are you able to say that yet
I don't know.
about your mom?
No.
Still can't?
No.
Yeah. How come?